I found, and I think I initially alluded to this, when I first was diagnosed with early stage Alzheimer's, I didn't want to tell anyone. I mean, I did tell my partner, but it's not like I shouted it to my work colleagues. I didn't tell my friends. I didn't tell the people that I went to at church. I didn't tell anyone in any of the groups I belonged to. I didn't want them to know anything was wrong with me. Now I have to tell people. I mean, I don't have to, but when I'm giving a speech and I'm using notes and I'm not supposed to use notes, I have to acknowledge that I have a problem. And I better be, you know, I found it's better to be honest about it than just say, well, there's nothing wrong with me. And when I prepare, for example, a lay read at church, I read that passage well in advance, because I'm not one to just sit or stand up and just read the passage without any emphasis, without any heart in it. I want people to understand what I'm reading, and I want them to listen to it. But I have to prepare myself to do that. I can't just walk up and read it the day of, because it won't come across the same. So there's going to be periods. You know, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross had seven stages of grief. And I probably can't name them all for you, but denial, anger, bargaining, acceptance, and I can't name the others. But I've gone through all of them at various stages, and I keep going through them every day. Frankly, when I first found out I had this disease, I never wanted anyone to have to take care of me. Never. I've been independent since I was, frankly, since I was 8 years old. And it's just the kind of household I was raised in. It wasn't a bad household. It was just that my parents were busy, and I learned early on to be independent and do things, you know, pretty much entertain myself. And so I'm no different now. You know, I don't need someone to hold my hand, and, you know, I don't have trouble dressing. I have trouble remembering. What do I have trouble remembering? I mean, I don't have trouble, you know, taking a shower and doing those kinds of things, but it's just, do I have everything I need when I leave for the day? And that's where I take my list and I say, okay, I got this, 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 and this. I'm ready to go. But I've since, you know, I've come to terms because, you know, I know theologically what my particular denomination says about end of life. And believe me, I don't want to face what I think is ahead of me. But I know I'm going to have to at some point. I hope it's many years down the road. But I'm told that caregivers get a certain amount of satisfaction in their own right from taking care of someone. So who am I to say? So I've come to terms with that. And I know that my higher power is there for me, but I want to keep functioning for as long as possible. I want to be independent as long as possible. You know, I feel that I've been blessed with some great gifts, and I want to continue giving back as long as I can. I know that things aren't going to happen exactly the way I want. That's beyond my power now. Sometimes they go the way I want, but not always. But when you've done all you can do for as long as you can, then you have to let God take over, or whatever you call your higher power. I believe everyone was created with a purpose. And I believe if you give up before it's time, you have shortchanged yourself. And you have shortchanged your higher power. You've wasted opportunities and life experiences that you can share with others. And I'd rather pay things forward. I'd rather help someone else. There are amazing ways that you can do that. And I wanted to part in a stunning blaze of challenges that I leave forward for others to pick up. And I savor each day, each victory. And the things that go wrong, I just say, oh well. But those victories, boy, I hold on to them like, yes! And if you recall Robert Frost's poem, I think all of us would rather take the road less traveled. Because even though it's the harder road, it's the more rewarding road. Yeah.
Yes, you mentioned your partner. Do either of you use the knowledge that you have an impairment to either advantage in arguments or?
We try not to win, not to have arguments. First of all, it's stressful for me, and I think it's better. We have a weekly check-in where I tell him, where I think I am that week, and where I notice some changes, if I notice some changes. We're working on a service project that is driving me nuts right now. And we've talked about it this past weekend, and he's trying to reduce my stress level around this because it has to do with miniature golf, and which is a passion of mine. Did I mention that? And but we're trying to raise money for charity, and but things aren't going the way I think they should be going. So, but I try to avoid arguments with people. It's non-productive. I think that if you can express what you want and what you need, and you hear what the other person needs and wants, and you try to work together so that you get your needs and wants met, that's the best solution. Arguments are pointless. I mean, one person ends up feeling hurt, the other person ends up not feeling heard, and where do you end up? So it's better to have a conversation, a calm conversation, and talk things out, and try to find a common ground. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.